विश्वगुरु शिला प्रभुपाद की जय. So we'll Hare Krishna. So we'll continue reading Srila Prabhupada's book. Book name is Raj Vidya. The last chapter, the last portion, will offer prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurumilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Actually, Arjuna was engaged in very unpleasant activity on the battlefield. But because he was in Krishna consciousness, he suffered no reaction. So here, Prabhupada is explaining about action and reaction, duty and non-duty. What is the actual duty? What is the one who knows actually duty? He has no bound to the reactions. And one who is doing duty but which is actually action in inaction, he is bound for all the his actions. He is bound for, he has to suffer for all his reactions. We may be performing some action which may consider to be very good work, but if we do not perform it in Krishna consciousness, we have to suffer the reactions. Actions which are not pertaining in Krishna consciousness, which are not belong to, which is not related to Krishna consciousness, for such actions, one has to suffer for the reactions. For the material point of view, Arjuna's initial decision not to fight was a good one, but from the spiritual point of view, it was not. When we do pious work, we get certain result. We may take birth in a very good family, in the family of a Brahmana or a wealthy man. We may become very rich or very learned, or we may become very beautiful. On the other hand, if we do impious work, we may have to take birth in a low class family or even animal family, or become illiterate or foolish or very ugly. Although we engage in very pious work and take a good birth, we will still be subject to the stringent laws of action and reaction. Even one has taken a good birth in a pious family, still he is bound to the laws of material nature, is bound for every action, and each and every action has equivalent reaction. Our principal aim should to escape the laws of this material world. If we don't understand this, we will become attracted by aristocratic families, wealth, or a good education or a beautiful body. See, one who is attracted for all such things, what are those? One is aristocratic family, wealth, good education, beautiful body. So that means he has not understood this science. What is that science? One, if he is not engaged in Krishna consciousness, he is bound to the laws of material nature. He cannot escape from such laws. We should come to understand that despite having all these facilities for material life, we are not free from birth old age, disease, and death. To caution us of this, Sri Krishna warns in Bhagavad Gita, Abrahma bhona loka punaravartino Arjuna mamupetyatu kaunteya punarjanma na vidyate. From the highest planet in the material world down to the lowest. From the highest planet in the material world, highest planet is Brahmaloka. That is the topmost planet. It is even above the Svargaloka. Svargaloka, Tapoloka, Janaloka, Maharloka. Above that, the highest planet is Brahmaloka. So that's what it is. Krishna is mentioning. Brahma Bhuvana Loka. Even from the Loka, from the Brahma planet, Brahmaloka, and down to the lowest. All are places of miseries. Why it is miseries? In all these places, these things exist. What is that? Misery, wherein repeated birth and death take place. Even one goes to Satyaloka, Brahmaloka, still he has this misery, has to suffer for these two miseries. What is that? Birth and death. Maybe there the lifespan will be the bigger, with thousands and thousands of bigger than the earthly planet. But still, a fine day, he has to die. He has to give up his body. Even on Brahmaloka, the highest planet in the material universe, repetition of birth and death are also present. We have to go to Krishna's planet in order to be free from this. It may be very nice to be a rich man or a beautiful man, but how long shall we remain such? That is not our permanent life. We may remain learned, rich, and beautiful for 50, 60, or at most 100 years. But real life is not for 50 or 100 years, not 1,000 years, nor even million years. We are eternal, and we have to attain our eternal life. That we have not attained, it is our whole problem. What is our actual problem? We have not attained the eternal life. We are thinking, no, I'm living 100 years, 50 years, 60 years, 100 years, millions of years in Brahmaloka, but still these problems exist. And that problem can be solved when we are Krishna conscious. See, this is what the importance of Krishna consciousness. When we actually become Krishna consciousness, all these problems will be solved automatically. If we leave this material body in Krishna consciousness, we will no longer have to return to this material world. The point is to avoid this material existence altogether. It is not a question of improving our condition in the material world. In prison, a man may want to improve his condition to become a first class prisoner, and the government may give him a status, but no sane man will become satisfied by becoming an A class prisoner. See, even he is A class prisoner or B class or Z class, still he is in prison house. It is not like, no, no, I'm a class prisoner, but you are still existing in prison house only. So one has to come out of that prison house. He should desire to get out of the prison house altogether. In the material world, some of us are A class, B class, or C class prisoners. In material world, everyone is a prisoner. He may be a rich, aristocratic, no beautiful, but still he is a prisoner. He may be is considered as A class prisoner, is a B class prisoner, and one who is a poor, no, unhealthy, he is also prisoner. He may be some XYZ class prisoner, but both are in prisoners. But in any case, we are all prisoners. Real knowledge does not consist in simply getting an MA or PhD, but in understanding these basic problems of existence. Yes, सर्वे समारंभ काम संकल्प वर्जितः ज्ञानम दग्ध कर्माणम तमाउ Panditam Buddha. One has to become Pandita, Buddha, a learned person. How one is understood to be full knowledge, who every act is devoid of desire for sense gratification. He is said by sages to be a worker whose fruity action is burned up by the fire of perfect knowledge. The word Pandita means learn, and Buddha means well versed. In the 10th chapter, we also find the word Buddha in the verse Buddha Bhava Samanvitaha. According to Bhagavad Gita, one may not be a learned man just because he has received a lot of education from a university. Bhagavad Gita says that he is learned man who can see everything on an equal level. See, Krishna is saying here, who is a learned man, who is a pandita, not that one who has got MA, PhD, all these degrees. No, here is the qualification. Who is a learned man? Actual qualification is Vidya Vanne Sampanne Brahmane Gavi Hastini Shuni Chayava Shwapa Kecha Pandita Samadarshina. Samadarshina means with equal vision. Sama means equal. Darshana means vision. One who sees all these, one who meets with all these criterias, he is a Pandita. What are those criterias? The humble sage, by virtue of true knowledge, who is in true knowledge, actual knowledge, he sees with equal vision a learned and a gentle Brahmana, a cow, an elephant, a dog, and even a dog eater who is outcast. All same for him in a equal vision. He does not see, no, 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 here is a Brahmana, he is a good, he is a learned person. Here is a cow, here is a dog, he is a Chandala, dog eater. No, no, he sees because he is in actual knowledge. In India, according to Vedic civilization, a Brahmana who is learned is considered to be the topmost man in human society. The Pandita, who is learned and gentle, sees such a Brahmana on the same level with a dog or an outcast who eats dog. In other words, he sees no distinction between the highest and the lowest. See, what is that equal vision? The equal vision is here Prabhupada is mentioning that one is not highest and one is not lowest. All are equal. What is that equal? He doesn't see the Brahmana, he learned Pandita. He doesn't see the outer covering, the body. He sees the soul, the spirit soul in it, in that body, which is engaged in that particular body, a dog or a dog eater or a brahmana. So this is the actual knowledge. Not that the actual knowledge I have become PhD or have done MA, PhD graduation. No, this is not the actual knowledge. The actual knowledge is one who sees with equal vision. What is that equal vision? He doesn't see that he is a highly learned, he is a aristocracy, he is a dog eater, he is a dog. No, he sees that every body has got a soul, a jiva, a spirit soul in it. So he is in the real knowledge. So he sees that with equal vision. Even though he is a dog eater, he is a dog, or he is an elephant, he sees the spirit soul which is engaged in that particular type of body. Is this to say that being a learned Brahmana is no better than being a dog? No, that is not so. But the Pandita sees them as the same because he does not see the kin, but the spirit. One who has learned the art of seeing the same spirit soul within every living being is considered to be a pandita. For in actuality, every living being is a spiritual spark, part and parcel of the complete spirit whole. The spiritual spark is the same in all, but it is covered by different dresses. An honored man may come in a very shabby dress, but this does not mean that he should be dishonored. In Bhagavad Gita, these material bodies are likened unto the dresses which are worn by the spirit soul. What is the shloka? Vasamshi jirnani yata vihaya. It is Vasamshi jirnani means the garment one who wears a dress, outer covering, one who wears. And once Navani Granati Naro Parani. Navani means the one, Naro Parani means it has become old. It has torn the dress. So what we do? We'll give up that dress and then get Navani Granati. Navani Granati means accept the new dress. We'll purchase the new dress. Exactly. Tatha. Tatha means similar way. Exactly. Sharirani vihaya chirnani. Sharirani means the body. Once jirnani becomes old and useless, no more useful. So, similar way, anyani samyati navani dehi. See here, navani granati means as our clothes, our dress becomes old, we give up this. Once gets like no little bit torn, we'll change it to new one. Similarly, exactly, Krishna is saying, Tata Sharirani Vihaya Jirnani. Exactly as once the body becomes old and useless, the spirit soul gives up this deha and accept another dehi. As a person puts on new garments, giving up old ones, similarly, the soul accepts new material bodies, giving up the old and useless ones. Whenever we see any living entity, we should think here is a spirit soul. Whenever we meet anyone, we should not say, no, he's a great person, he's an aristocratic, he's a Brahmana, he's very rich person, he's very talented person. Okay, those things are be there. Those things are, it's like outer coverings. Those are designations. Those are upadhis. So one has to see what one has to see. He has to see Sarva Upadhi Vinirmuktam. All these upadhis to give and give up, and he has to see here is a spirit soul, part and partial of a Krishna. Anyone who can understand such a spiritual vision of life is called Pandita. Chanakya Pandita gives the standard of education or the qualification for a Pandita in this way. The learned man sees all women, with the exception of his wife, as his mother. He sees all material possessions as garbage in the street, and he looks on the suffering of others as he would look on them in himself. Lord Buddha thought that we should not even hurt animals by word or deed, not even human beings. Lord Buddha thought even an animal also one should not hurt, harm. This is the qualification for a Pandita, and this should be the standard of life. It is therefore to be understood that one is to be considered educated in accordance with his vision of life and his activity in accordance with that vision, not by his academic degrees. This is the understanding of the word Pandita from Bhagavad Gita. Similarly, the word Buddha especially refers to one who is well versed in the study of scripture. The result of such realization and scriptural learning are thus described in Bhagavad Gita. Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. I am the source of all spiritual and material world. Everything emanates from me. Krishna is saying this. Krishna is the source for all material and spiritual world, both the worlds, and each and everything is emanating from Krishna. So the wise who knows this perfectly engage in Krishna's devotional service and worship Krishna with all one's their heart. The well-wished person or Buddha is one who has understood that Krishna is the origin of all emanations. Whatever we happen to see is but an emanation of Krishna. For millions and millions years, sunshine has been emanating from the sun, and yet the sun is as it is. Similarly, all material and spiritual energies are coming from Krishna. As a result, knowing this, one becomes a devotee of Krishna. Thus, one who knows that he must work in Krishna consciousness, who no longer desire to enjoy this material world. It actually learned everyone is working in the material world due to lust, kama. But the wise man is free from the dictations of this lust, kama sankalpa varjitaha. How is this possible? Jnanagni dagda karmanam. Jnanagni means the fire. Agni means fire. What what kind of fire is this? Jnana. Jnana Agni. The fire of knowledge burns up all reactions of sinful activities. It is the most potent of purifiers. Our lives have meaning and direction only insofar as we strive to attain this transcendental knowledge of Krishna consciousness, Rajvidya, which is the king of knowledge. So, what is the king of knowledge? One has to act in Krishna consciousness. One who knows he must work in Krishna consciousness. And what is the next solution? Who no longer desire to enjoy this material world. So this is the Krishna, this is the most confidential knowledge. This is the Raj Vidya, this is the king of knowledge. So here we completed the first book, Raj Vidya. So we'll move on to the next book. The book name is The Science of Self-Realization. We'll begin with the introduction part. In introduction, it is mentioned who is Srila Prabhupada. So people may ask this question: who is this saintly person? Who is Srila Prabhupada? So we should know what to answer. Hmm? Everyone knows, but still, we'll see what the science of self-realization introduction part it mentions. People often ask that it is always a hard question to answer for Srila Prabhupada, always eclipsed conventional designations. At various times, people have called him a scholar, a philosopher, a cultural ambassador, a prolific author, a religious leader, a spiritual teacher, a social critic, and a holy man. In truth, in truth, he was all these things, and not only these things, he is much more than this. Certainly, no one could ever have confused him with the modern entrepreneur gurus who come to the West with silkly packed, watered down version of Eastern spirituality to satisfy our urge for instant well being and exploit our well documented spiritually naives. Srila Prabhupada was rather a true holy man, sadhu, of deep intellectual and spiritual sensitivity. He had deep concern and compassion for a society which, to such a large degree, lacks real spiritual dimension. See, this is the concern of a pure devotee. The pure devotee is concerned about how to liberate this large number of population who is engaged and who are bereft of the actually real knowledge of spiritual life. For the entanglement of human society, Srila Prabhupada produced some 80 volumes of translations and summary studies of India's great spiritual classics, and his work has seen print both in English and in many foreign languages. Also in 1944, Srila Prabhupada single-handedly launched a magazine called Back to Godhead. When Prabhupada was in Vrindavan, Prabhupada used to go to Delhi and there he used to print Back to Godhead magazine and single-handedly used to get it printed and used to go and distribute personally, which today has a monthly circulation for more than 500,000 copies in English alone. Nearly all the interviews, lectures, essays, and letters chosen, the science of self-realization first appeared in Back to Godhead. This book is compilation of interviews, lectures, Prabhupada's essays, letters, and which already appeared in Back to Godhead magazines. In these pages, Srila Prabhupada presents the same message that the great sage Vyasadeva recorded thousands of years ago. The message of ancient India's Vedic literatures, as we shall see, he quotes freely and often from the Bhagavad Gita, the Srimad Bhagavatam, and other classic Vedic text. He transmits the modern English the same timeless knowledge that other great self-realized teachers have spoken from millennium knowledge that opens the secrets of the self within us, nature and the universe, and the supreme self within and without. Srila Prabhupada speaks with startling clarity and a kind of convincing, some eloquence and prose, just how relevant the science of self-realization is to our modern world and our own lives. Among 36 selections chosen for this specific special book, we hear Srila Prabhupada's moving poem upon his arrival in America, his exchange with a noted cardiologist on soul research, his revelations to London Broadcasting Company, and on reincarnation, he is telling remarks to the London Times on real and false gurus. His dialogue with the German Benedictine monk on Krishna and Christ. His insight on super consciousness and the law of karma. His conversation with a leading Russian scholar on spiritual communism, and his intimate talk with his disciples on the shame of modern science. Read the selections in order if you like, or start with the ones that first catch your interest. So we'll begin with the chapter first on the science of civilization, and the chapter name is learning the science of the self, and there are subheadings, and the first subheading for first chapter is discovering the self, discovering the real self. See, the same knowledge, same topic in all the books you can find out that it begins with I'm not this body, I'm a spirit soul, I'm a part and partial with a part and partial of Krishna. So this is how we should discovering the self. Who are you? Are you your body? Are you your mind? Or are you something higher? Do you know who you are? And do you merely think you know? And does it really matter? Our materialistic society, with its unenlightened leadership, has made it virtually taboo to inquire into real higher self. Instead, we use our valuable time we use our valuable time in maintaining, decorating, and pampering the body for its own sake. Might there be an alternative? The very important Krishna consciousness movement is meant to save human society from spiritual death. At present, human society is being misled by leaders who are actually blind. So at present, the leaders are actually blind. And what is that? Blind leader. We are following a blind. A blind person is following a blind leader. And what is the destination? For both of them, destination is land up in a ditch. For they do not know the aim and objective of human life, which is self-realization and the re-establishment of our lost relationship with the supreme personality of Godhead. That is the missing point. The Krishna consciousness movement is trying to enlighten human society in this important matter. According to Vedic civilization, the perfection of life is to realize one's relationship with Krishna or God. In Bhagavad Gita, which is accepted by all authorities in transcendental science as the basic of all Vedic knowledge, we understand that not only human beings but all living entities are part and parcels of God. The part are meant for serving the whole, just as the legs, hands, fingers, and ears are meant for serving the total body. We living entities, being parts and parcels of God, are duty bound to serve Him. So, what should be our actually aim? To serve the Lord, because we are part and parcel of Lord. So here Prabhupada is given one beautiful example. What is that example? The body, the different parts of the body has to serve the body. Central point is stomach. There in Kathopanishad, one beautiful story is that Prabhupada mentioned that once all the senses, the all other senses like the hands, no, tongue, the legs, they decides that this belly alone, just sitting and eating, is just sitting and eating and doing nothing. The leg says, I have to walk many miles every day. Hand says, I have to work a lot. No, so all different parts says like this. And the one fine day, they will decide all the senses. They will decide that no, no, all will do one thing. We'll go for a strike. We'll go for a strike. Will not work anymore. Will not work for anyone anymore. For this stomach, this belly, which is simply eating. So they'll then belly will stay okay. If you wish you want to go for a strike, you can go. So one day or 2 days or 3 days or then the one fine day, fourth day, again they'll meet together. Hands, legs, no eyes, all the senses, and they'll start discussing that I'm becoming weaker and weaker day by day. I'm not getting energy. So then the stomach, the belly says, you are becoming weaker because you're not feeding me. Because you're not feeding me, so you are becoming energyless. So I am the source for all other senses to supply the energy. So then they'll realize and then they'll start serving the stomach. And then, as they serve the stomach, the energy will flow everywhere. Exactly, this beautiful example explains that at present we have forgotten our actually master whom we have to serve. We are part and parcel of that supreme master, and we are trying to serve ourselves, no, one another. Hands, legs are serving hands are serving legs, eyes are serving ears. So like this is happening. We're not serving actually belly, the stomach. We are thinking this Krishna is the only enjoyer. Actually, is the only enjoyer. And if we serve him, then only we'll get exactly same energy as the all other senses get from the stomach, belly. Actually, our position is that we are always rendering service to someone, either to our family, country, or society. We have no one to serve. Sometimes we keep a pet animals such as cat or dog and start rendering service to it. All these factors proves that we are our constitutional we are meant to render service. Either you serve no family, country, friends, or if nobody is there, serve the pet animal, cat or dog. So our that is our constitutional position. Our constitutional position is not to become a master. Our constitutional position is to become a servant, and that is what we are doing here. But we are bereft of serving our actually master, who is our actual master. So all these factors proves that we are constitutionally meant to render service, yet in spite of serving to the best of our ability, we are not satisfied. See, life after life, years after years, day by day, we are serving, but no one is satisfied. Nor is the person to whom we are rendering that service satisfied. On the material platform, everyone is frustrated. The reason for this is that the service being rendered is not properly directed. For example, if we want to render service to a tree, we must water the root. If we pour water on the leaves, branches, and twigs, there is little benefit. If the Supreme Personality of Godhead is served, all other parts and parcels will be automatically satisfied. Consequently, all welfare activities as well as service to society, to family, to nation are realized by serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So we'll stop here today's session. Thank you. Hare Krishna.